It's a move which has a long story, and some credit goes back to many of the good magicians which I mentioned also in the lecture, Gus Southwell, but also it was Jack Avis mainly, and it was the American Paul LePaul who had the book of the jumping gymnastic aces. But the really full credit goes to Eddie Teitelbaum. He had a method which I'm going to explain. I can't do it that well. When I was 16 years old, I went to Holland and saw Eddie Teitelbaum had the following version performed in 1956 on a Dutch convention. He had, I didn't know that, the 4 tens on top of the deck, or the aces or the sevens. Now he did, in his typical way, the Hinder shuffle. He held the cards like that, and now he did it in a way I can't do. And I do the same move, the Hindu shuffle, when you pull off the top packet, but now he took a part of it back again. So now he continued the shuffle. All of a sudden, when he came to that one, to the last card, now this is the first 10, he flipped it over like that, and it was the 10 which he had here. He was so perfect, he could do it without looking on these cards. He didn't look at the cards. All of a sudden, the 10 was here. It was caught out of mid-air. Look, it was a fooler. But he looked in the audience and told them an interesting story. Nobody was watching here. All of a sudden, that 10 or that ace was here. That was his method. I was 16 years old, and after that show, I went backstage and said to Mr. my friend, was it not yet at that time, Mr. Teitelbaum, would you please explain me details of that wonderful move? And as I said in the lecture, he said, no, I'm not explaining any of my tricks. So what happened now? I went a little bit disappointed for my holidays from Holland in 1956 back to Switzerland and thought, how the devil did he do that? And I was experimenting with all other methods, not his, I didn't found it. Look what I found out. I reversed the 4 tens and placed them on the bottom of the deck. Like that. So here is the deck with some cards on the bottom which are reversed. I have 2 more, that doesn't matter. So look, now comes the move. I invented this. Went here with that card and shuffled the cards like this. So my method was actually more direct. It just fell out from the bottom in the front and I caught it. That was very good. And I was quite proud that I found out how Mr. Teitelbaum worked that trick. But it wasn't his method. And finally, I came to an even stronger effect because I was going to make these cards double faces. You understand? I reversed them on the bottom and they were double faces. So I took again, this is the move for the later on pop-out, which I'm going to explain. You go down here and hold the break with the thumb, and now, because of the double facer, you can show this. You understand? You can show this side. Now you shuffle, and as soon as you want the card, you just do this, and your card falls front and comes to that place. You can't now turn over, because it's a double facer. You have to place it here, get the break, and go here back. Restart with the bottom card, and now again do the Hindu shuffle, and all of a sudden you get the second ace, or the second 10 that falls out. It doesn't matter if it falls out, but it is the best thing if you just catch it like this. It comes out like a way of coming right in front. Look, I'm showing once more this. Now I went to Holland and showed this procedure, this version to Mr. Teitelbaum. And believe it or not, he said, I don't know how you do that. You are a devil. You do a different method. Then we got friends. We both explained each other our methods. Well, this is a really perfect example why you should not explain every trick to youngsters. You should sometimes let them struggle. You should sometimes don't give them every DVD which they are go to copy. Let them try just to go and do your own thinking, just to start getting creative on that way. If you explain them everything, it's all wrong. Thank you, Eddie Teitelbaum, that you never explained me that trick when I was 1956 in Holland. Now, I continue with the move because that, what you just saw, I'm not doing anymore, and I really never liked, because I'm not a fan of the Hindu shuffle. But Teitelbaum and myself, we went then into a competition of FISM in 1961. And 2 nights before, in Liège, Lüttich, I heard that Teitelbaum and myself, we were in the same competition, and even worse, that I was before him in the competition. So I said to my friend Karl Horst Meyer of Germany, I can't do that Hindu shuffle appearance of the cards. They always say, this young man, he stole it from Eddie Teitelbaum. And I did really not want to compete with Teitelbaum in such an unfair way. So what we did, Karl Horst Meyer and myself, we went all night together and worked on it. And he said, this is better, that is better. I had a version like this, look here, and did it that way. I dropped it just out of the shuffle. Couldn't do it. It looked all the same. I had a version of throwing it out like this. I had a version of dropping it like this, and it fell out. I was shuffling, look what I did. I shuffled like this, and I dropped it like this, so you got an 8 invisibly, and you didn't even see the back. So that was possible, to show a double facer like this, and then you would appear another card. You see, this card could appear, or you wouldn't show the back. So finally, we ended up with the real or almost real pop-out.